Hello, finally I got some time to do this. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take or whether this video is gonna come after or before the main video. So I'm gonna go through what this video is about. So what I'm doing is I'm comparing a lot of different AI assisted development tools using the same project that I created. And today we're gonna be looking at Cursor. So, well, about Cursor. Cursor, I think, is the main tool that probably anyone that thinks about AI assisted development thinks of. I think now is the probably the market leader, I guess. Is the one that I've used the most. I'm thinking about switching, and this is some of the motivations why I'm doing this video. But Cursor has served me well for a good amount of time. My company pays for it, so yeah, I've been using for a while. The pricing, it's similar to a lot of other tools. It's a $20 ish a month. This is exactly $20. But if you look at all the other tools, they're all about the same price, like the base model. Depending on how much you use, you might want to get a bigger plan or whatnot. But yeah, so Cursor has the main features. So code completion, which is likely the first thing that we ever got from like AI development tools, but also the agentic kind of like editing, where you can do a bunch of things. There's some interesting integrations that are built in. So lint errors are already, I think compilation errors as well. The agent is gonna get all the necessary context and is gonna loop to fix things. So this is quite cool sometimes. But yeah, and everything else is just like how you expect. There is this inline edit which I rarely use because a lot of times this is good when it doesn't need any external context. Like just yeah, like this thing added inside the case doesn't have to look at the whole code base. Anytime that I need something extra of context, hey, implement a test for that other function, I don't use that. I use the agent instead, which is Command I to open it. But yeah, we're gonna install it and see how it goes. Actually, I already installed, but we're gonna cover how you install it, and we're gonna see how well it performs on this project that I have here. So I'm going to copy that. So let's do it. Let's first use this template. I'm gonna create a new repository, and I'm gonna call it Expensify Cursor. All right. So yeah, this will copy the repository, and yeah, this is something that I prepared and I demoed on the main video, or will demo. Not sure when the release will go. But pretty much I have some product descriptions here, some what I want to build, and I have some technical, like I'm trying to use this kind of like uh, decision record kind of approach. Yeah, and then there's an overview of the architecture. This is to give some context to the AI, and I also prepared a few things that I'm going to give the agent, like in Cursor is going to be the Cursor MD file. But this is the instructions for the agent, like what it should do, what is the main workflow. I'm not sure if this workflow is any good, but I just wanted to have a similar instruction file for all the agents and all the tools that I'm gonna use. And I also just added a few MCPs because some of the tools they don't have LSP. I might want to integrate with LSP, might be useful, and Prisma. And I might also add Context 7. I'm unsure about that, but yeah, I'm gonna think about it. Cursor technically already has some documentation things enabled where you can. Yeah, I think this is just getting from the text LLM txt files. But yeah, so this is gonna be the project. Okay, now that I already have this copied, I'm going to clone this to my local machine. I'm going to git clone Expensify Cursor, and now I need to install Cursor. Well, I already have Cursor installed, but I'm gonna close Cursor, and I'm going to update it how I normally install. So you can just come to Cursor here, download, or download for some other some other distribution. I think you can even download other versions. But what I normally do on my Mac is that I use Homebrew. So yeah, I'm just gonna upgrade it. So I'm just gonna do brew install cask cursor. I'm just gonna upgrade cursor to the latest version. And yeah, might take a while. And once this is done, we can open cursor. All right, so cursor. Yes, I want to open this. So yeah, we have cursor here. What I'm gonna do instead of opening like this, I'm going to do how I normally do, which is I navigate to Expensify cursor, and I just do cursor and pass the current environment. And now we're in cursor with the, let me just make this a little bit bigger. I think it's gonna be slightly better. But yeah. So we have cursor installed. Okay, now with cursor installed, and we're just gonna go through the UI a little bit and set up the project. So what we have here on the right is the chat agentic cursor. I think open this by default. You can change to ask. There is background, which I'm not gonna be reviewing right now. This requires some other extra setup, and I'm gonna leave this background agents for another moment. But yeah, you can go with agent or ask. Most of the times I just go with agent, even if I want to ask something like, what's the stack used here? This is likely just gonna go into ask mode. It's gonna research and give me an answer. So yeah. But yeah, so now that we have this installed, let's just go through cursor. So we also can we can open any file. For example, we can come here. We can use Command K to do like a like an inline edit. For example, add a documentation comment explaining this. So yeah, so this just generates some code inline. So this is for the inline edit, which is normally great for small things like this where I don't need a lot of context. But most of the times what I do, if I want to do this, I'm gonna have to wait this too. Yeah, I think I kind of got it stuck here. Interesting. It's getting in a weird. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop this. But what you can do is that you can also use Command I. So if I copy, I can do Command L to add to the chat. Command I just goes there, yeah. But it also went here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a new chat, and I'm gonna copy these and do Command L. So it's just added to the question here, and then I can say comment, add a comment to document this, whatever. And it's just going to do a similar thing. The inline edit normally it's a little bit faster. Yeah. There. So this is what it does. I'm not gonna keep that. But yeah, that was another thing. As you saw, there is this skip thing. So anytime that there is an edit. So for example, change, add something to readme about it as well. So I'm not even in the same file. Normally you want to point to the thing, but yeah, let me just do readme. So I can do at, and now it's pointing to the actual file. So this helps with the context about it as well. So this is gonna read the context of the chat and gonna read readme, and then it's gonna do that. So you can see now readme got this added, and there's this review next file here. I can just do Alt L, sorry, Control L. Oh, this is Alt, sorry. So I can just click review next file, and yeah, there's this thing. So you can undo keep, or you can also do undo all or keep all. An important thing is that this file is already saved in the file system. So yeah, so this is like if I do cat readme grep development, the development features header is already there. So this was already saved. You can see the file is saved. So this is the undo actually, updates and saves the file. So yeah, so this is how it works. So this is the basic workflow. We talk with the agent here. Sometimes we do some inline changes. Sometimes we do, there's also type the completion. So for example, if I just, what I can do is that I can do something like this. You can see now it just showed something here. So I just add // and then this auto completion came here. So this likely is using a lighter, faster model for tab completion. And yeah, I use this a lot as well. So I normally ask the agent to generate something, and then when I'm refactoring something or doing my own stuff, then the tab completion normally comes in handy. So for example, I use it a lot for tests as well. So if I just come here, it's completing with the same thing, but it should fail if I don't even know what was that, but yeah. It generates some gibberish, but yeah, a lot of times it works when it's a more lifelike scenario. But yeah, for test generation, I use this tab completion a lot because a lot of times you have a lot of test cases and you just want to add one more. So I just add the description of the test, and then a lot of times it nails it down. So yeah, the step-driven development is also a cool thing about Prisma. Sorry, about Prisma, about Cursor. So now what I want to do is that I want to configure Cursor the best way possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a .cursor rules. So just about Cursor rules. So the new ways /cursor rename. So this rules file is it should be a directory actually. There used to be a .cursor rules file. The legacy still supported, but yeah, I'm gonna go with this project rules. So what I'm gonna do, actually, let me delete this, and I'm going to new folder rules, and I'm gonna copy these instructions, MD there, move, and I'm going to rename these to MDC. And the main difference is that this MDC describes it has its own thing, but I'm just going to add this front matter, this YAML front matter. Oh it suggested me. Okay, always apply. Okay, yeah, it added that thing. Do I have a description? Overall project instructions. I'm not sure if that's a good way of describing it, but the idea of having multiple different rules that you can say, hey, for the front end use this rule, for the back end use that other thing, and you can have some custom details attached to it. But I'm not gonna do a lot of that. You can also have like user rules that lives in your own directory. There's not starting the project. So this is the first step. I think for now this is good enough. And now I also want to configure the MCPs. So I think I can just come here, MCP settings. How do I go to the project thing? Let me just, actually, let me also disable that MCP that from my job. I'm just going to disable that. I want to add. I think all you need to do is just maybe add this to. So MCP context MCP. Okay, so I think it's just an MCP JSON, but where does it live? I think it just lives in the root maybe. You know what? I can come here and ask Cursor. Actually, let me just copy this to. Let's see MCP settings. It's not. Okay, it should probably live in the MCP in the cursor directory. So I just move there. I think that's the. Okay, yeah. So MCP detected. Okay, I already prepared that before. So yeah, I'm gonna enable both of those. Yeah, this is likely not gonna work because I need to install things. So I just do pm install, and also gonna do mees trust and mees install. All right, let me close cursor and open it again. So now I should have the MCP things running. I'm not sure why this is. Why the LSP2 is not set up. Okay, I know what. Mees install. So yeah, I use mees to install the TypeScript language server. Yeah, so this is running. Okay. So yeah, maybe there's some mess configuration. I'm not gonna worry too much about it because honestly, okay, yeah. Now I have the two MCP servers running. Yeah, it has some weird debugging. So yeah, this should help us, especially with understanding the current state of the database. And also, I have these two things, but I don't think I need, because I think if I do like Prisma, yeah, so this already likely is fetching from the Prisma documentation and also Next.js. Yeah, so yeah, so Cursor already has some documentation. If I do web docs, you can see the things that he gets and where he's getting from. So I'm not gonna be adding these LLMs text here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna delete this. And yeah, and what we're gonna do now is there a way that we can configure what are the main things to look for. So cursor rules. Oh yeah, so there's this memories thing, which is an interesting thing we might use. So sometimes you're doing some stuff, the agent does something bad, and then you say, hey, actually, you should not do it this way, you should do it this other way, and then you can save as a memory. So for long-term memory, it's kind of like a easier rule generation, but it's generated through the chat. What else that we need to set up here? I don't think we need to set up too much. So let's code ignore files, MCP, add symbols, docs. Okay, I can add my own docs. All right, I don't think we're gonna need to do that because I think let's see that setting, indexing, docs, indexing and docs. Oh, okay, this is for the custom things. Code-based indexing. Okay. All right, so I think we are good to start the project. I'm gonna start at 10 a.m. here, so the time now is 9:56, and we're gonna have 2 hours to do as much as we can with Cursor. Sorry, we are a little bit late. Sorry, I went to get some coffee. Sorry, tea, and also I did this weird thing. I think YouTubers do it, where you start recording, then you go away, and then you get back in, just so it gets you getting back in. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing it now with some tea, and let's try to do something for the next 2 hours. All right, so I committed the changes that we done to set up the context, and now I'm just gonna copy that initial prompt and see where it goes from that. I'm excited to get started. So yeah, I'm just gonna copy this here. Let's just do this PRD. Well, why is not? Okay, I just product. Sorry, docs. Why is not letting me do that? Come on. so weird. On. Focus on the PRD main. Okay. I'm gonna go tasks. Why the experience has to be so bad? Oh, it's because I don't have the tasks file. I should have added a git keep to that. But yeah, let me just new folder tasks. I'm just gonna copy, drag and drop. At least you can drag and drop, so that's good. Okay, I think this is good enough. Let's just send it. I'll have to develop expense management application based on your PRD. Let it be 460. Okay. Interesting. It's gonna try to shoot a database schema first. I guess the okay. Design database schema on paper whiteboard. I mean, I'm willing to see it going on a whiteboard, but whatever that means for the AI. Create Prisma models for all entities, define relationships and constraints, add database index for common queries. I mean, this is a little weird because, you know, you don't know the common queries right away. You have to first define them. Okay. I think it's fine. I think for initial version, starting with some database, it's a good starting point. Okay. Nice. It added the test written and passing. Okay. The next file. So it's creating a lot of tests. Okay. Core services. All right. Okay, so it's trying to follow I think I described that on the architecture MD, where we should have a service separation from the components. Okay, user service, organization service, category service, policy resolution service. Okay, expense service. All right, this looks good. I mean, but this seems a lot for one task. Yeah, I think he's gonna eventually, you know, add and maintain the to-dos as I asked it for. Okay, if I would, I'm not sure how much I want to evaluate this on a, yeah. Let's just skip all this file and then we can review. Okay, but I would particularly break. I mean, I'm gonna ask it to break. So this database schema in core services and endpoints. This isn't like a waterfall process where it's going through like database and then all the services and all the APIs, like one-shotting everything. And then, you know, it's easy to get lost maybe. So I'm gonna chat with it and say, hey, should we break this thing, the database, core, and API, into multiple different things? Like, let's just focus on one feature, for example, instead of having, you know, database for everything, then core service for everything, and then API for everything. Maybe we should do some stuff first. Maybe we should do like user and organization first, like the whole authentication and model of users first. It's not the best value, but I think, yeah, just, and then we can do like a, you know, the CRUDs for, you know, policy and categories, you know, and then we do, yeah, maybe categories. Yeah, maybe the first thing could be just, you know, expense categories, user service, organization service, authentication, and category, and then we do the whole policy thing. I'm gonna should we split task 1, 2, and 3 into tasks per domain? For example, first doing org user plus auth, then doing category and policy CRUD, then doing expense and policy resolution. What would be, I want to chat with it as it was like a coworker. What would be the pros and cons? Okay, it's a it gives okay. What it's saying is that we need to be the problem of doing that step by step is that now we have all these database migrations and there's more stuff to worry about. I mean, I don't buy that void breaking changes. I mean, we're not gonna have any customers running, but I mean I get the the general guideline. Yeah, I mean the cross domain dependencies is a big problem, but honestly, this is why I think we should do step by step. But it proposed an interesting task, which is to break the foundation and then the API layer. But also, I don't think we want to go with APIs. So, because we can we have, so this is a Next.js application. You just use server side stuff. So I'm also gonna do that. Okay, this seems interesting, but I also want another change. We don't need to do APIs because we can just call the services directly from server. I forgot the name of the React. I'm not a React guy, so sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the best idea, but yeah. Server components. Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I wanted to do that. I don't need any real time updates. I'm fine with the trade-offs. Let's rearrange the tasks, but instead of using task 0 to A, 0 to B, just call them 002, 003 and reorder things. Later. The other tasks. And rename the other task to follow the desired order. Let's see what it does. But I just reorganized the tasks, and now I think it's a much better thing. So it's gonna do still the whole database schema. Then it's gonna create the separation went with user organization and authentication. I think this is good because then we can look at this and try to log in. Maybe I'm gonna ask it to do some of the UI first. I'm not sure. So yeah, so it has this task overview. Why is doing like that? Like you're gonna have to do this. Like this is just shenanigans, honestly. And I honestly don't think this has a lot of value. I'm just gonna delete this. Honestly, I don't think this is okay. Let's start with the first task. I think I'm gonna do with task 001. Okay, it's gonna start doing a schema Prisma thing. Let's see what it generates. So that's the reason why I went with Prisma. I'm not a big Prisma fan, but I think having a schema file is so good for AI to develop things because it's like this one. It's just text, right? So this is just an introduction. I stopped. I was editing the video because honestly, what happened after we're gonna see soon is that I had to restart everything. So I just decided to cut. I left a little bit of the beginning so you could see my first interactions with it, but honestly the experience went downhill really fast because I did a poor job on making some decisions and providing enough context and guidelines for the AI. So I had to go back to the drawing board. I changed the whole template that I was using. So what we're gonna see now is I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just gonna, because this video is supposed to be, well, this not well structured thing, I'm just gonna let it roll now. I'm just gonna edit the spaces. But yeah, the reason why I cut a lot of things out is because honestly, it was a bad experience. I was just not getting the things done properly. I spent the full 2 hours doing it, and I realized it was a really bad experience, and mostly because of my fault, which is why I decided to do it again. And I don't think it's unfair with the other tools that I'm gonna test, because the knowledge that I acquired on okay how I want to do this, what are the stack, what are the stuff that I want to do, I think it's gonna serve for the other tools as well. So I don't think it's that unfair. But yeah, I wanted to add this interjection. This is not even the same day. This is tomorrow already. You can, but yeah. So I just wanted to record this interjection. Let's go back to the video. Thank you. As you can see, it's not early in the morning anymore. I'm gonna do it again. I did the 2 hour stint with cursor, but I realized I honestly was getting in the way of the AI. And because this is the first tool that I'm doing this video about, I want to do the best job that I can for the tools. So I'm gonna redo this whole thing. I'm gonna start from scratch. But what I've done is that I changed a few things. Most importantly, I realized that it spent too much time with authentication and just messing things up. The mocking Prisma approach, it just got lost with the mocking, and I spent some time preparing an environment that is less prone to these issues. I think this gonna be slightly better. Honestly, I'm starting to regret going with TypeScript. It's just a mess of a stack, honestly. But I think I got a setup that is good enough. Now, if you saw the other video, depending on the order, you might know that already, because I'm gonna also talk about it there. But yeah, I think now it's in a better state. So I pretty much regenerated an app with T3, and I added TRPC and X-Auth. And I also manually configured Node Mailer and MailPit to have magic links. So the idea is that this is mostly generated code, so it's not what we're actually testing the AI for. Yeah, I did a little bit of work, but I want these 2 hours to be as intense as possible for the AI without going into these weird details. I'm not gonna be doing tests for the UI layer, also because that's kind of hard. I might want to add like Playwright after that, but I think right now we're gonna focus on the TRPC, which is another thing that we added. So I'm gonna make the AI write tests for the TRPC layer, and I drop the service layer to, well, just test on the TRPC layer. I think this should be good enough. And then if we want, we can ask the AI to refactor, create a service and whatnot. But yeah, I think this should be good enough, and I'm gonna restart this. I'm not sure what I'm gonna leave from the previous attempt, but yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna come here, gonna create a new repository, and this is gonna be Expensify cursor. I'm gonna create repository. Yeah, this is gonna take a few seconds. I'm gonna come here. I need to cursor to Expensify cursor hold, and then I'm going to copy that. All right, and I'm gonna do cursor cd Expensify cursor. I'm gonna do mistrust. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do mis install, npm install, and And now I should be able to do npm run dev, sorry, cursor dot. So we're gonna do yeah, the whole thing again. So instructions, this I'm going to create a new folder, cursor, and instructions.md gonna be moved here. Gonna rename this to rules mdc. So I'm gonna open this, apply, always apply. Then this is gonna just come here, mcp.json. And I'm gonna delete this. Gonna enable this too, and we should be good to go. Let's just do prepare for search context. Okay, did it again. Now, yeah, so it's 5:18. I'm gonna do until 7:18. So I'm gonna copy the prompt. And yeah, we need to do PRD. Yeah, again, this whole thing doesn't work because things were copied, I guess. Okay, product. Yeah. Docs. Product. Let's see what it does now. I mean, it's funny because it just ignored the whole tasks template. Just gonna should create a few points. You can drop first task should be organized using the task and the template. Remember that. Also on the first task you can already drop the post model and do a simple merge task 1 and 1 so that we modeling but also implement some strings. Remember, using the current code already supports magic link login. It is already implemented. So drop the post model because that was just a demo from the generated code. Yeah, let's see what it does. Sorry to stop you, but let's use a simple task number, task 0, task 001, instead of adding a dot. Task 1.1 is 001, task 2.1 is 002, task 2.2 is 003, etc. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for until this is done. I'm gonna be right back. It got a little bit lost and because I stopped in the middle and it just created the steel files. But yeah, I'm gonna ask it to do more. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit more. Okay, I'm back. I also took the opportunity to get some water and realized the AC was running, so yeah, sorry about the noise. Okay, let me review these tasks. Well, it's doing a slightly better job already. What does it mean by role-based middleware? Okay, just keep all. I'm gonna delete the file. What do you mean by role-based middleware? Where would the organization ID come from? How it will be added? Context. How would be the route to this user organizations? Okay, actually, it's good enough. All right. And commit this. So again, I'm not gonna waste too much time going through everything. And this policy application model, I would say this is out of scope. Where does this audit trail requirement coming from? Maybe there was already in the PRD, but I don't know. So yeah, I might know more than I do. Okay, so it's gonna run. Let's see what it generates. Okay, starting from the UI, it's not what I would particularly do, but use the npm exec set npx. Remember that. So it doesn't install any random package. copy the example M5 to the open add any type. I'm trying to fix things. Stop and reason dot why it is fading and if needed ask for human help. Yeah, if you just let it go crazy, it's just going to do a bunch of shenanigans. Let me just dashboard content. Okay, let me just. Uh, script language server. Okay, let's see where we at. npm run dev. Okay. So let's go to localhost 8025. Sign in. Okay. Dashboard. My organization. It is nice. Okay. It didn't properly reload things. Okay. This is not great UI. But yeah. Okay, so let's just I think we're almost there. We are good to go, but we need tests for the organization.ts. Check the deleted file from git history. Post.test. To see how to properly test. Git checkout 68 server SRC server API routers. I temporarily check it out the file from git history for you in post.test. Look at post. Let's see npm run test. npm will do test run and this. exec db test reset, and now I can run this. Okay. All right. Only one test failing. I think we can remove this now. Okay. All right. Amazing. I just reviewed the tests. It'll keep all. I think we can refactor. So this whole thing of generating a test user and a test session. I think we should have like a function that generates the color context. Let's try one refactor. Let's create a function that creates a test user. Creates a function that takes the out mock the DB and creates the test user and mock the session returning the color context and the test user. Change this to generate a expiration 5 days, 30 minutes in the future, 3 minutes in the future. I'm not sure why this test takes so long to run, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. I don't think we need this anymore, right? Okay, I think this is good enough. Yeah. Okay, so this is good enough. Perfect, I think we are. That's going to be a good task. Before we go, should we use one of these procedures, these middlewares in organization? What if I don't do this? Yeah, I'm wondering why it's still so slow. Yeah, I don't like that much, but you know, TypeScript authorization. Do I have a better way of doing that? Zanzibar Prisma. Relationship based access control Prisma. Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna go too much into that, but I would love to have something like never mind. Okay, so I think we are. Let me just test that things still work. Let's just go to. I should still be logged in. Go to dashboard. My organization is here, and I'm an admin. I don't have the invite and whatnot, so yeah, this should be good. Okay, yeah. So let's just status github.git complete task one. Okay, so I'm gonna start a new chat, and I'm gonna use the other prompt that I had just to see how that goes. Okay, let's discuss the modeling. Let's call the invited by user relationship. ID. It's generating a lot of code. Let's see how that goes. just vibe coding, isn't it? Just chilling here. Can check like Instagram on the phone. I don't even know what's happening. What is happening with the colors and whatnot? But yeah, it's kind of like degenerated. But yeah. Okay. Uh, okay. Invite user someone or example.com. It's gonna be a member. Okay. Invite user someone else. Someone else at example.com. Let me see. So if do I send any emails? I don't think I am, right? Yeah, I don't. But if I go to localhost 5555, oh, I need to run that. npm db studio. We have organization invitation. So yeah, I was invited by CME. Okay, what is myself? Okay, interesting. Okay, and I can cancel this invitation, right? Okay. Change the status. Interesting. Let's open this in a new tab. Go host. Sign in. Someone at example.com. And we're now going to come here and just I need to come here actually. Okay, someone at example.com. I'm gonna go to organizations dashboard. Okay, pending invitation. Accept invitation. Yeah, again, doesn't update, but I can refresh and click here. Nice. I can see. Okay, good enough. I think yeah, okay, definitely improves the UX a little bit, but you know, it's getting there. Oh, I can edit a role here. Okay. I hope this okay. There's a confirmation. Yeah. I mean, this is good enough. All right. Let me close this. Let's see, what was the goal? Implement crude operations organization. Yeah, can I create multiple organizations? Let's come here, back, new org, another org. I think this was already working. Yeah, I need to refresh. And I can ask it to fix later. But a new org, I can delete organization. I mean, this is good enough. Yeah, honestly. Okay, I just... I didn't add new things, so I'm going to almost there. So let's do some factors and add some tests. First, let's move all the invitation related operations to an invitation router in invitation dot yes, and all the membership stuff to member.ts. Then let's create the test for it just got really crazy there. Come here and do this. Okay, I think we're in a good state. Okay, let's try to do one more task. I'm gonna do that thing again. I'm gonna start a new copy this again. Okay, it's doing a better job now, starting by the TRPC, which I think is better. Uh, let's see what we have here. Create category. It's a simple CRUD. It kind of went crazy here. It assumed like that these things exist, but they don't exist. But yeah, maybe they should exist, but I didn't want to have that. It's getting kind of lost here. The fuck? What the fuck? honestly, it just annoys me that it always like it cannot understand. And I think this is a little bit of fault of the. Yeah, I think the TypeScript ecosystem and the whole Next.js thing is a little bit at fault for not having this as a good standard. Like the mocking with Prisma is just horrible. And he's so bad at replacing these things. Let me just do it for you, man. Okay, let's review it. It's still crazy with the whole style. This should work. amount of linting errors, it's crazy. What is even going on here? Okay, I'm just gonna do this myself. Okay. Let's see if we can. Okay, finally, add category, travel, flights, flights, hotels, taxis, Uber, etc. Create category, add category, new, lunch, dinner, snacks, and category, office supplies, keyboard, mice, microphone, chair, etc. Okay, let's see our other. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, let's continue. Do simpler. Let's see what is the next task. Well, I'll be right back. I need to get some water, and I'm gonna wrap up soon. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to take a break. Okay, it's creating the whole policy thing in the policy test. Well, at least this time it made the thing correctly. I mean, kind of correctly. No, that's not how we do again. Why you're doing that? One more time. You are not properly testing. You're not doing the test the way the other files are. Check them first. And I'm losing my mind with this AI, man. It's like I already told it to remember. I'm not sure if it added to the. Like it's just becoming This doesn't even make any sense. Why are you doing that? Yeah, I should probably do a better job at providing context. I think my instructions file, maybe there's a bunch of like nonsense that I need to. Yeah, I definitely need to improve this. Like I should like start from scratch. Yeah, this is just getting lost. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna give up. It's already been 2 hours, and honestly, I know it stopped for a while, but it's gonna be a few more minutes, and I just gonna call it a day. Gonna stop it. Uh, Maybe I will eventually do something about it, but yeah, I'm gonna stop it for now. And yeah, so the state that we had is, I'm just gonna do git dot git stash. Yeah, so the state we are here, we have members, invitations, and categories. It managed to do the invitation just fine, which I think is a good thing. And yeah, users don't have names. It's all this unknown user. But yeah, I think this is good enough. So I'm gonna call it a day, and we're gonna test some other tools so we don't lose too much time. I think the overall gist is the UI is alright. I think I have I'm having trouble understanding the memories, like the also the if you go to memories, rules and memories. I wanted to have like, yeah, this is another one. I wanted to be able to easily add that. I don't know. It's just weird. Uh, but yeah, I honestly I think I should do a much better job with these instructions and MDC file. I think there's too much information and the AI is getting lost. But yeah, I need to improve this instructions MD file. I'm not doing a great job on this. So yeah, but I think Cursor did okay. I I don't like the way it sometimes, because Cursor itself, the TS server, gets kind of lost. I had to restart it a few times, and it was getting the context from there, and then it was thinking it was wrong, but it was actually right. I mean, the way Prisma works, that generates things inside the node module, is it doesn't help either. It's a little bit weird, so maybe that's the reason. But yeah, I'm honestly thinking like that. Shouldn't be using Node.js for this kind of things. Maybe if I went with something like Rails, things would be much easier because there's like a Rails way. Like I could just say, hey, AI model, just do the Rails way or something like that. But yeah, I think that's all for now. Thank you.